Hey everyone, in this video we're visiting a floating river bunkie in Bobcaygeon, Ontario. It's a fully functional living space with a kitchen, living room, 2 bathrooms, and a large loft. But what makes this space really unique is that the patio doors open onto a deck that's also a dock where you can tie up a boat, go swimming, and enjoy being on the water right from the living room. In this video we're going to give you a full tour. Let's go check it out. This floating cabin is 14 feet wide, 27 feet long, and 18 feet tall. And there's 6 of them set up at the marina here. When you first get to the entrance, you can see there's a little platform where you have to walk over the water to get to the front door. And it's all surrounded by water. And this is also where all the systems are connected to shore. So when you first come in, you got the front door here, and then the kitchen is on the left. So it's a nice L-shaped counter space. There's plenty of room on both sides of the sink and stovetop to prepare food. There's a 4-burner propane cooktop, a microwave, a full-size fridge, and plenty of storage. The only thing that's missing really is an oven, but I think it wouldn't be that complicated to add one. And for water, the bunkie is connected to municipal water with a hose. This floating vessel runs off of 30 amp for electricity, so that's why some of the utilities like the cooktop, the hot water heater, and the heat are propane, because the 30 amp wouldn't be able to handle all of that. Across from the kitchen is the main bathroom. In here there's a full-size stand-up shower, toilet, and sink. It's a regular flush toilet, and all the gray and black water goes into a tank under the floor in the living room. The tank is connected to the municipal system, and when it gets full it's automatically evacuated using a marine vacuum pump system. So moving into the living room here, you can see it's a really nice large lounging space. There's a full 3-seater couch that folds out into a bed. And this is really my favorite part of the floating bunkie. This is probably where I would spend most of my time. It's pretty rare to be in your living room and also be that close to the water. You got these 2 massive patio doors with a view on the river. And there's also 2 windows above the patio doors to expand the view even more. On the other side of the living room is this big, beautiful propane fireplace. This supplies the heat for the entire space. And above it, there's a TV. So overall, this is just a really nice, functional, and comfortable living room with an incredible view. There's no air conditioning in this river bunkie, but there's a secondary roof on top of it that provides shade. In the living room, there's also a large ceiling fan that circulates the air. And pretty much all the windows in the river bunkie open up to catch the breeze off the water. Next to the staircase here, there's a small dining table, and there's seating for 4 people. There's an extra chair underneath the staircase. And there's also a small closet underneath the stairs, which is where they keep the hot water heater. So now we're up in the loft. As you can see, there's plenty of standing space. I'm pretty tall and there's a bit of space left here. So it's nice that you don't have to crawl around in a loft. There's a queen-size bed, and there's also a single bed that's separated by a dresser in the middle. There's windows that open up on both sides, so you can get a nice cross breeze up here. And one thing I really like up here is that part of the railing going across the loft is a piece of glass. So you can still get a really nice view of the water from the 2nd floor without compromising on safety. This space here could be a closet, but they decided to make it a 2nd small bathroom, so that people don't have to go up and down the stairs in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. So moving on to the deck here, there's space for 2 chairs. There's also a small gate that opens up onto a 2nd platform where you could get into a canoe or a kayak. And there's also a swimming ladder attached to that, so you can get in and out really easily. And then on the deck, there's also a locker that holds 2 30-pound propane tanks. You'll notice that there's a ton of solar panels up on the roof. There's actually 39 kilowatts up there. The solar power system is not directly powering the river bunkies, but they're producing renewable energy that's being sold back to the grid, which is pretty neat. So the bunkie and the raft that it's sitting on were built separately. They first built the bunkie on site on beams. When it was finished, they raised the bunkie, floated the raft under it, and lowered it back down onto the raft. The raft has 11 4x8 foot floats in it. and that provides 32,000 pounds of buoyancy for the 12,000 pound structure. And the floats are all made of polyethylene-covered styrofoam from Atlanta, Georgia. Overall, this bunkie actually feels pretty spacious considering that the space is not really that big. And on top of that, there's always something really special and inspiring about being in a living space that's floating on the water. It seems like you're connected to nature in a completely different way than you are when you're on land. And it would be absolutely incredible to be able to make something like this a full-time living space. That being said, building something that's floating definitely has a lot of different challenges. For example, you have to find solutions for your water, power, and waste. When you're building something like this, you also have to keep in mind the center of buoyancy and center of gravity so that the structure is balanced and floating properly. Another challenge that's particular to this area is that the waterway is drained in the fall and floods in the spring. So they had to add beams under the water so that when the water drains, the bunkie can rest on the beams. And they also had to modify the roof rafters to provide extra space for when the bunkie floats higher than normal. These 6 river bunkies are for rent in Bobcaygeon, Ontario, and I'll put the link to the website in the description below. And I'll also put the name of the builder. Make sure to subscribe to Exploring Alternatives and check out our playlists for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.